Hello. We're going to be talking about metacognition today. So, just to recap, we said metacognition was thinking about your thinking. So, a way we can do that with our text here that I'm going to show you guys is by thinking of metacognition like a salad. So, this is my bowl, and I'm going to have green for thinking, and I'm going to have red for text. So, when I read something, I read like a sentence or a phrase, I throw in the red. And then when I have any thought or making some kind of connection, I'm putting in the green. Okay, so it was one of those super duper cold Saturdays. So that's going to be text. Thinking, how cold is it? Thinking the time when it was so cold that I felt like my toes were going to fall off. And how painful that was. It hurt so much. I was very, very scared. One of those days when you breathe out, your breath kind of just hung in the air like a hunk of smoke, and you could walk along and look exactly like the train blowing out a big fat white puffs of smoke. So I read that, and when I was reading that, I was thinking of when it's really, really cold, I like to try to also use my breath and like to see it kind of come out. And I did that when I was a kid. I was thinking how fun it is, and I was thinking how I did that even a couple of years ago, just because it kind of amazes me when it's cold. It was so cold that if you were stupid enough to go outside, your eyes would automatically blink 1,000 times all by themselves. And then when it's very cold, I know I blink a lot, and then my eyes start to feel really, really weird. And thinking about that right now. So probably all the juice inside of them wouldn't freeze up. It was so cold that if you spit, the slob would be an ice cube before it hit the ground. That text. And I'm thinking about, like in science class, when we made the connection between different properties of matter. I was thinking that it was a zillion degrees below zero. I'm very uncomfortable thinking how cold that is. I'm getting cold right now thinking how cold that is. It was even cold inside our house. We put sweaters and hats and scarves and 3 pairs of socks on and still were cold. I'm feeling cold, like I said, and I'm seeing how in my head of when I used to live in my mom's house and it was so cold, and I would tell her, "Mom, it's so cold. Like put on the heater," and she would just say no. Just put on pants, because I used to wear shorts around this. Put on pants, or put on socks, or put on an extra sweater. The thermostat was turned all the way up, and the furnace was banging and sounding like it was about to blow up, but it still felt like Jack Frost had moved in with us. Text. And then I'm remembering seeing movies where it was really cold, and they did put the heater on. And when they put the heater on, because they couldn't, afford a really nice place to live, it was like New York or somewhere, it was really loud. They were like yelling, like, turn up the heat, turn up the heat. So I'm thinking of that right now. And Jack Frost makes me think how cold it is, how cold. That's a snowman. Jack Frost is a snowman. And that was also a movie I saw as a kid. It was like an evil snowman or something. Okay, so that was just a little bit of text that I read right here. And we're going to look and see how much text and how much thinking went into that. So let's try to see. We have thinking, 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 text, thinking, text, text, thinking, 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 text, thinking, thinking, text, thinking, thinking, text, thinking, thinking, thinking. So if you were to look at my salad, show you here, what color do you see the most of? You see green. So in metacognition, when we have text and thinking, there's always going to be more thoughts, more thinking. So metacognition, thinking about your thinking.